Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Warlock changes are here, so let's take a look. So Blizzard has stated before that they were happy with how Destro and Demo were playing, so I thank the green Jeebus that they didn't stick to that mindset. So far, we've had 2 sets of changes, not particularly extensive, but still, changes nonetheless. They're giving us Fell Domination, a 3-minute ability to speed up the summoning of our demons. Well, that's great, if they hadn't extended the summon time of the demons by 6 seconds. So yeah, it's kind of giving us with one hand and taking with the other. So yeah, thanks, I guess?
Fuck.
The Doom is back as demo only. So yeah, thanks, I guess?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, but it does do more damage, so there is that. But don't fear, we do gain yet another curse. Curse of Exhaustion! This curse reduces the movement speed of the target by 50% for 8 seconds. Now, this may be an unpopular opinion, but I really don't give a fudge about curses returning to Warlocks. Now, whoa, hang in there, hang in there. I'm not against the Warlocks gaining more utility. I mean, an interrupt would be nice. Is that going to happen? Yeah?
Fuck.
Now, joking aside, adding curses back just to be another Eye of Kilrog, it just feels kind of pointless. Demo has huge ramp in a world that is focused on the fast delivery of damage. It doesn't matter if during a 5 to 10 minute fight, you can deliver the same DPS as another class if 90% of what you're fighting dies in less than a minute. You can never compete. Now add to that the need to curse the target beforehand. That's spending potentially a GCD we can't afford to spend. 100% we are not alone in this. And it's something Blizzard really need to look at. Timed content changes class design in an extreme way if you want all classes to be viable. Even Fell Domination is an extra button press that we don't really need just to summon a demon faster. It's painful. And let's think about that for a second, okay? Let's go into the class fantasy. Let's think about this. So Blizzard's words are, it should not always be easy to summon a demon. So, let's say you're a warrior, and you've spent your life mastering various weapons. That's all you've done from a young age. You are Conan. You are the greatest swordsman known. But wait, Blizzard now get involved. It turns out that you're not that good. Only every 3 minutes can you use your sword with maximum efficiency, doing maximum damage. The rest of the time it turns out you're not really that sure how to swing a sword at all, and at times you are actually going to grab the sword by the blade and cut yourself. What? So for the fantasy of a hunter, they can bring back their pet from dead faster than I can just summon a demon from the Nether. Something I've been training my entire life to do.
Not a happy ever after all.
But back on topic. As I say, I'm all for utility. I find it an interesting part of gameplay, and I for one would love if the fabled Tinker class suddenly appeared and it was a utility class enabling me to buff my friends and hurt my foes. I honestly think that this would be a great place for specs like potentially Desk Priest or Survival Hunter, even Demo Warlock I wouldn't mind to sit in, but that is probably for another video. A more interesting curse for me would be one that, say, embeds a Tyrant soul in ourselves, doing X amount of damage to us over, say, 15 seconds, but during that time, all of the soul shards we spend generate imps. And once the timer ends, it instantly summons our demon. No need for casting. Or have a curse of, say, Demon Seed. Target is not in control of its own body. It's been possessed. And it slows its movement by 50%, similar to Curse of Exhaustion. But if the target dies before the curse ends, a demon will rip itself from the corpse and fight for us. There is so much fantasy to the Warlock, and in particular to Demonology Warlocks, that it feels lazy just to have old curses back to make us feel all fuzzy and warm and nostalgic inside. But let's continue our look at the changes. Summon Demonic Tyrant rank 2, which is learned at level 52. This bakes in our Azerite ability Baleful Invocation, or at least part of it, sadly not the damage. It's going to give us 5 soul shards when summoned. Cool Dreadstalker, again rank 2, learned at 54, will reduce the cast time by 0.5 seconds. And also gain a version of Pursuit. So if the target is further than, I think it's going to be around 10 yards away, your Dreadstalkers will charge at the target, meaning they can start doing damage sooner. Our little wild imps, those little guys, no longer are they feeling quite so lazy. Yes, when we use Hand of Gul'dan, the imps are going to, as Blizzard say, turn up more immediately. Yeah, not quite sure what that means. Have to see it in practice, but it's all good. A bigger change potentially to imps is the fact that they will also now teleport to the warlocks. If we go too far away or they're having issues with line of sight, they will teleport to us. On the surface, this is, of course, a good thing. It stops us from losing our little army of imps, but it also stops us from cheesing mechanics by kind of blocking the line of sight or blocking our imps, meaning we can build up a massive Tyrant. This is, granted, very situational, so I'm just happy if my little imp army will no longer get stuck. This is Blizzard, they're still going to get stuck, and we're still going to be able to cheese it. Come on, we know that. But anyway, onwards. Staying with our little imp friends, rank 2, learned at 56, decreases the energy cost of their firebolt. In short, this basically means we're going to get 1 extra cast from our imp before they despawn. And that is it for our ability changes. But fear not, we're not done yet. Now we move on to the world of talents. Demonic Consumption, it turns out that our Tyrant is bored of eating all those poor little imps, and instead will now just take 15% of the health of whatever active demons we have, empowering him to do further damage. This damage will increase based on the amount of HP it consumes, and if this sounds vaguely familiar, this is basically our Legion Artifact weapon ability, Thal's Consumption, potentially bringing the Valfiend and the Summoned Felguard back into the mix a bit more. Be interesting to play with this one when the beta finally opens up. Power Siphon now also adds 30% damage to our next 2 casts of Demon Bolt. Gives us a little more instacast options if Doom is still a no-go. It will be interesting to see how this stacks up against Demonic Cooling. Demonic Cooling now also reduces the shard cost of Dreadstalkers by 2, meaning no soul shard cost and no cast time. It's still 20% chance per Shadow Bolt and Demon Bolt. But yeah, I think this will be interesting competition. I still think this will be the go-to compared to Power Siphon, but it might just, I don't know, be interesting to play with that one, as I said before. Nether Portal. Attack power increase on this one to all the demons that are spawned. On my part, I'm kind of hoping Demonic Consumption still wins out. I like the fantasy of Nether Portal, but in reality, it just feels really clunky and dull to play. But that's just my opinion. Last of all, Inner Demons. The random demons summoned have a greater attack power. Just to be clear, this is the demon that spawns, not your poor little imp. He does not benefit from this. And that's it. Now, bear in mind, on Alpha, we haven't seen all of the soul bindings, we haven't seen all the legendaries and their abilities, so we're unable to gauge fully the numbers and the implications that's going to have on these various things. How good is Siphon Power going to be? We don't know. Things like that. So, in terms of gameplay, the things that actually bug me currently are still there. None of these changes, none of these talent changes or ability changes affect any of this. No interrupt. Slow ramp. No interrupt. Really, really slow ramp. Plus, on top of that, as if that wasn't fun enough, we have a 6-second cast time added to our demons. Great. Curses seem forced in rather than blending into the rotation of the 3 different specs, adding a new and interesting way to play. I will say, at least they are changes. At least Blizzard seems to be listening. At least we've got some movement going on. So it's frustrating to see that when I look on Twitter, you see a lot of people who are in the alpha going, blah, Warlock devs are stupid, Warlock's still rubbish, without giving meaningful feedback. If that's the feedback that I get as a developer, why would I think about doing potentially an interview? Because we've seen a lot of them done. Why would I think about writing an article explaining in more detail what it is that I'm looking for, what it is we're trying to achieve in terms of gameplay, and how they believe that these changes to the Warlock and other classes, to these various abilities and to these talents, will actually help achieve their goal. Now, this is not all people, I want to say this. THDLock has actually done a fantastic set of articles talking about his take on Demo, Affliction, and I believe Destruction as well. He's got all of them done. Link I'm actually going to put in the description because they are really good. Now, as we say in every video, if Blizzard really want feedback and you're going to start opening up the class changes now, it's time to open up the beta with it. It's time to let people in, let people get their hands on this, try out the different rotations, get as much data back as they possibly can, so that we can be involved in making these classes as good as they can be. Not just the Warlock, but all these classes. Because that is the goal going into Shadowlands. As I said before, it doesn't matter how good the surroundings are, it doesn't matter how good the quests are, it doesn't matter how good the raids are, M+, your Chorgas tower, it doesn't matter how good all that is. If the classes that we're playing suck, then the whole thing sucks. And that would be a real shame for Shadowlands. But that is enough from me, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe, have a great day, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Have a good one.